I view this whole move of the United States to be have been planned not just now and increasing the controversy with China, West Philippine Sea, but it was a decision made by the United States as early as 2011. 2011. When Hillary Clinton came here about November of 2011 to announce to us that there will be increased U.S. presence in the Southeast Asian region. And by 2011 December, in a APEC summit in Singapore, President Obama actually tells our Noynoy Aquino that they would like to have use of our bases, air bases, and ports, all of our ports, when they shift their naval forces to the Southeast Asia, which President Noynoy agreed to. If you remember, in the Senate, this was vehemently objected to by the late Miriam Defensor Santiago, saying that that agreement should not hold water because it needed Senate's ratification. Nevertheless, they were able to push through with this. It was also at the height of another issue that was overwhelming the Filipino people, which was the move to impeach the Chief Justice Corona. I view all of these things as somehow connected because the United States and Noynoy needed to have this very subservient Supreme Court because they knew that there will be certain moves that will be challenged as to its constitutionality. As you know now, the EDCA after that was being pushed. And if we had the same Supreme Court Chief Justice, most probably he would not have allowed it. But since it was Chief Justice Sereno, it was quite easy for Noynoy Aquino to get that EDCA agreement, which was obviously questionable, to push through. Subsequent to that, of course, the presence of the United States here in the Philippines and in our waters and in our territory was almost without question allowed by the Philippine government. Not just Noynoy Aquino, but President Duterte as well. No, just couldn't do anything with the installations of the U.S. in our Philippine military bases, and of course the use of our ports by the U.S. naval forces and their submarines and their warships and parked here all over the Philippines in territorial waters. Now, to me, this should have been enough. Warning on the part of the Philippine government that what was going to happen was going to happen. All of this time, Chinese government has been warning us since 2011 that this move of President Noynoy Aquino was going to make us a target in case there was a main conflict between China and the United States. The United States was moving not just to encircle China, but it was also moving at that time to encircle Russia, because the encirclement was already planned during that period. And they knew that the two sovereign countries would be their biggest headache in trying to maintain their hegemony over the world. So we are here now, again, still discussing the details of this and that, and our president, rather than taking a position and understanding that the country will really be at risk if we become a target we get caught in a crossfire between the United States and China, still takes their position that appeasement of both heads and trying to play the game of saying, yes, I love you to the US and yes, I love you to China as a method of foreign policy. And I have my reservations with regard to this. I think a declaration of sovereignty is much more important now. And
Professor Butch, may I interject here? There's some questions from the media. Thank you for the opening remarks. You gave us a good overview. The question here from the media is: do you think that the 5 EDCA bases will be? How do you see that moving forward? The additional 5 EDCA bases. And
well,
can you? Some of our listeners are saying it's a bit soft. Is there a way to increase your microphone?
Yes. From the very beginning, I think the EDCA is unconstitutional, and there should be a move precisely to declare the EDCA agreement as unconstitutional. So not only should we disallow additional 5 bases, we should make a declaration that the previous 5 bases that they are in is unconstitutional, and it's an attack on our sovereignty. That should be, I think, our position. And it will not. I am not sure it will mean the ouster of President Marcos from office. President Marcos, if he takes these kinds of leadership role, might be even more enamored to the Filipino people. And I believe if about 100 million Filipinos are backing him up, it will be very difficult to oust him. The old President Marcos was ousted, but he didn't have what the new President Marcos will have, which is China and Russia. At that time, only the United States was the superpower. But now, if the US pushes us in the way as you saw that they pushed Duterte. Duterte went to China and to Russia, and they were not able to do anything about it. And if they do that to Bongbong Marcos for saying that we are declaring the EDCA as unconstitutional, I don't think they will do anything to push us even closer to China or to Russia. Now, on the matter of the nuclear energy, I think that was a request on the part of the Philippines to get assistance from them, and they used it as a carrot, for us to agree to their requests on EDCA and so on and so forth. Because very easily we can get the very same as Anne had indicated, we can get the same and even better assistance on financial, technological, and and whatever else that we get from other countries. South Korea is there, China is there, and Russia is there. Yeah. Even India will be in a position to help us. Yeah. So I am not too well. I don't think that the U.S. Agree discussion on this nuclear thing is separate from the EDCA or other issues. They're connected. That's my view.